done 30 for first question, but when it comes to question 2 and so on, then I will explain more on how to make it better in our variable declaration. Okay. So assuming that for first question here, okay, we are going to declare variable called annual salary, where we are going to show that this is the annual salary for our employee. Okay, so assuming that is a whole number, we will use n because if salary, normally we are not going to have negative. Okay, salary normally positive. You cannot have salary with negative value, so that is not what we call a salary lah. Okay, so we are going to use n. So in this question, when we do our variable declaration, okay, let's say my variable is annual salary. This is my variable. Okay, I follow the rules of how to declare variable and so on. So I use in this question as annual salary. So to declare variable, after identifier, then we go colon, then we put n, right? Remember not last week we did like this, right? Yeah? So variable declaration. So when we have like this is what we call as variable declaration. Okay, so when you have your identifier of variable, colon, and then your type here. Your type can be basic type, your type can be free type, or n and z will be built-in type. So whatever after the column will be the type. Okay, will be the type. So this is the one that we have discussed something last week. Okay, but if you look at the second question, I change the question to make it better. If I do annual salary like this, I will ask you, let's say in a company with 20 staff, 20 employees. Okay, assuming that, let's say, this is the company. Okay, I have 20 staff here, and then each of you have different job description, different position, and so on, right? And then your salary also will be different, right? Maybe one of you will be manager, 7,000, for example. One of you maybe just work there, maybe 3,000. One of you may be the owner of the company, and the salary will be maybe 20,000, for example. But if I do like this, will I know which salary belongs to who? Do I know this one? Only the salary, right? Then when people ask me, what is your salary, for example, but of course confidential. But if somebody wants to do some calculation and so on, right? So they how to check this one? Whose salary is this one? Very difficult for you to do that. Okay, so we have to improve on how we show our variable declaration. Because if you do like this, I cannot tell you whose salary is this one. It's just a salary, okay? Then what? If I ask you, is this person's salary? You cannot answer my question because this salary just a salary, but you don't know this salary belongs to who. Okay, so in order for us to improve our way of writing a variable declaration, the minimum up to today, you have to understand about how to use percentage Cartesian product. Okay, so if you look at question number 2 here, okay, we are going to use something like to improve a little bit of our showing data using what we call as Cartesian product. Okay, I think you have learned, right, in your last time Cartesian product. Have you learned last time, not? You know, not sure. Maybe you have mathematics last time. You learned or not?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So you know, you are going to link together data, right? Okay. I don't know how to do. Okay, that's okay. So we are going to use Cartesian product. Okay, so in this question, you were given employee, basic type, okay. So let's say I have employee. How to put basic type? Remember the subscript employee, like that, right? Of course, you will have the description and so on. This one I just do like this one. Okay, I have basic type, one of the type. Okay, If I do for this question, because variable given here is M salary, so I will use this variable. If I do M salary of type N, like above, like question number 1, yeah, if I do like this, actually, like I told you just now, in the database, okay, you will have only database. For example, show something like database data, how you are going to have, okay, for example, okay, so let's say this is your table in your database, your table in your database, so the salary that you are going to have maybe 3,000, maybe also 4,500, maybe 7, 8, 2, 5, doesn't matter, maybe 1,008. So your salary, okay, like that, yeah, in your database. But I will ask you, this 4,500 belongs to who? You cannot answer my question because in your table, in your database, you store only the salary N. Let's say these are table of salary M salary okay, N only so you have to do this. So very difficult for your database. That's why in your when you learn database, you have the primary key, right? Okay, so primary key will access all the info. But this one, if you do like this, how to access the information? Very difficult. So one way is, for now, we are going to use Cartesian product. Okay, let's say in the database, okay, I want to show that this is belongs to employee A, this is belong to employee D, then here maybe F, whatever. Then this one maybe B, something like that. Okay, so in my database, I want to show that this salary is for A. Okay, so assuming I have another one. Okay, another table. Actually, I want to show like this. For example, okay, so this one is employee salary, So this one I want to show that this is my employee. This one is salary I want to show something like that. Okay, so this is A, this is D just now, maybe F, this is B, whatever Okay, so this is the name of my employee. Okay, this is the name of my employee. Then from here, then I ask him, what is the salary of D? Then you look at it, 4,500. I ask you, what is B? 1,800. Okay, so you want to have this as your database data. Rather than here, you better to have this, right, in your database, right? Like you learn SQL and so on, so you have this. Okay, so this one, you cannot simply show like N just now, because N will be this one. But this is where you want to link these two together. You want to link. Okay, you want to link these two. But the link doesn't matter whether many to many or one to many, we don't care about that yet. We just want to link that this and this have some relationship. Okay, so how to do that? This is where the Cartesian product comes into your scenario here. Okay, so this column is employee. This column is the salary for that employee, right? So from here, employee here. So data will be string, string data. So we have employee, right? Whereas for this one salary, we have N, right? So how to show the relationship? Let's say I use the same variable, employee salary. Okay, so I put like this. Then first column is employee. Okay, first column is employee. So I use my basic type employee in front. Yeah. Second column is N. So I want to link. I use Cartesian product. So Cartesian product, you go for Z here. The symbol for Cartesian product will be this one, X. Okay, X is the Cartesian product. So I want want to link, I put X. And that's N, right? Where is N just now? Okay, so N. So when I want to link two columns together lah. Okay, let's say assuming this is one table, this is another table. Of course, I draw like this introvert. So assuming this is one table, this is one table. So I want to show the link between these two tables. Okay, so minimum for Z schema is to show the link between these two tables. We use Cartesian product. Minimum. But when I do like this, means now in my system, employee salary has a relationship between employee and N. So means that this employee salary, from this employee, I can get his or her salary. From here lah, from this statement. But, one more thing. This one, only one record, is one only. I have more than one record, right? So, if more than one record, what symbol we use? Remember or not? If more than one? Power set. Okay, we use power set. So, how to use power set? You put bracket because this one is for one record. So, you put bracket here. In front here, you put power set. Okay? So from here, we are telling that when I go for employee salary here, I will have many records of connection between employee and so means that I will have records like this. More than one record. But the records are linking between employee and their salary. Because I have the Cartesian product here. So the records are actually linking between employee and their salary. Employee salary, employee salary. So the data that you have here will be a pair. When I ask you about F, then the data will be F7825 as the answer. If I ask you about A, then you will get A with 3000 as the answer. So it's a pair of data rather than only 3000 or A only. No. So it's a pair of data when you have like this. Okay? So this is how you use the Cartesian product. But remember, when it is a Cartesian product, you are not so sure whether it is many to many, many to one, whatever. No. You cannot show that yet. Okay? Because this one is whether when we do this, we are going to improve again later using another symbol. Okay? So up to now, okay? So this is actually what you have to understand when you use the Cartesian product. Okay? So it means that if you do only this, it will be one record only. But the record is a link, it's a pair of data. Let's say 3000, that's all. One record only. But if you want to have many records, you have to put power set. Okay? You have to put power set. Okay. Now. So that is the answer for this one. Okay? But the answer is actually because it just show an employee. So actually no need power record, but a power set. But here I just want to show that because we may have many records. So we can put power set. So if you use Cartesian product like this one, here, like A and B just now, like this one and this one. So actually the data is a set of data, but it's a pair. For this case, let's say A1. Okay, it's a set of data. So A2, then A3. You have B1. It's a set of data. B2 and B3. Okay? If you have like this also same thing, it will be a set of data like this. Okay? So let's say for this one, if you want to get something like this, so the answer actually will be, okay, like this. A 3000, B bracket, B 4500, F 7825, and B. Remember, for the set so on. Like that. Your data will be as fair when you do Cartesian product. Okay? Fair. So, fair. So separated by comma in between. Okay, so this is how you write the data when you use Cartesian product. Okay, inside curly braces, remember because it is a set, it is a set, so you need to put inside curly braces. Just that it is a fact. Okay, so this is how you answer. Space, whatever, doesn't matter. You want to have space, you don't want to have space, no problem lah. This one is not a problem. Okay, you have space or you have space. So now, yeah. So that is how you do the Cartesian product. So now, okay, as you proceed with your Z schema, last week you learned about basic type and so on. Okay, there are steps in doing Z schema in our assignment. Okay, so if you refer to Google Classroom, actually I put some information there of how step by step of your Z schema. Okay. So first thing when you do Z schema, okay, your assignment on Thursday, you have to do the data abstraction. So this one I will actually explain to you how to start with your assignment. So data abstraction can include your basic type, your free type, and also another one we call as axiomatic definition. Okay, global constant. Okay, so these three. Okay, after you have all these three, okay, axiomatic definition is up to your system. You may or may not have axiomatic definition. Okay, so after you have done these three, okay, the next one is what we call as state space schema. That is the next step after you do this one. Okay, state space schema is what we call as starting state. Okay, so what does starting state means? For your assignment, starting state is your module name. That's why I asked you to choose module. So starting state or state space schema is your module name. Okay, module name. So inside the state space schema, you are going to declare variable like this now. Like this one. You are going to declare your variable like this one. Okay, you're going to declare variable like this one inside the state space schema. So variable declaration that you have, whatever the variable that you have here, is actually variable that you are going to communicate with your database data. You understand that? Whatever variable that you use here in your state space schema will actually accessing your database data. Okay, database data. So means that if I talk about M salary, I am accessing the database data connecting employee and salary here. Means I will get two information, M salary here, I will get two information coming back from database. Okay, so means I will get these two data. So my variable that I'm going to use will be this one. Okay, so for your state space schema, okay, so after you do data abstraction, so the fourth step after basic type, after your free type, after your axiomatic definition, the next step is what we call as state space schema. State space schema is the one that you are going to do next week actually. But our tutorial 3, I already include that in tutorial 3. So this state space schema is your module name. Okay, that's why I asked you choose one or two modules. So your state space schema is your module name. Okay, inside the module there, inside your state space schema, you are going to list down variables there. These variables are actually variables that you use later to access database. Remember that different from the operation later, different. So whatever variable that you put here will access database, will communicate with your database data. Let's say you want to add customer, you want to add name, ID, whatever. Your variable must have name, ID, because you are going to save the data into your database. Yeah? So remember that is what we call as state space schema. Now, the first question here, we are talking about state space schema. How to do state space schema? A very simple question here on how to do state space schema. But this question, I will not use Cartesian product yet. Okay, that one later in the tutorial 4 and so on. But here I will just explain to you on how to do state space schema. Okay, so now let's look at, assuming that your system is, you are going to model tennis club system in our university. Okay, tennis club system. This is your system that you are going to do for assuming assignment. Okay, for the university. Okay, you are going to do this. Your system will be tennis club system. Now, if for the you have tennis court, so those who want to use the tennis court in the university, okay, must be in the club. So the club has the sole use of the university tennis club. Means that nobody else can use the tennis club. Only if you join the tennis club, then you can use the tennis court. Okay, to play the tennis. Okay, to use the tennis court, okay, you have to be the member. This is the one that I told you. If you want to use the tennis court, you have to be the member of the club. If you are not the member, you cannot use the tennis court at all. Okay, Then, to make sure that everybody can actually play tennis rather than you go to court waiting, cannot play at all. That was the point. So to make sure that everyone gets enough games, okay. So inside the court area, we allow only 20 students inside the court area. Maximum 20. Let's say this is the 20 students. So this is the court area, only maximum 20. If let's say another one member also want to join, oh, full already, 20 cannot. Yeah? Because we want to make sure that everybody here can play the game. Means you are late, you have to play tomorrow, whatever. Okay, so maximum 20 students in the court area at one time. Unless maybe 2 of you go out, then 2 another people can go in. Okay, make sure the maximum is 20 only. Okay, if let's say you are already in the court area here, you can be either playing or waiting to play. Because maybe we have 6 court. Okay, so the rest are waiting. Okay, others are actually playing. Okay, so either you are playing or you are waiting. But we have to make sure that only 20 inside the court area here. Okay, so now, and then if you are playing, meaning that you are not waiting. If you are playing, then confirm you are not waiting. How to wait and play at the same time. Okay? So this is a scenario. Similar like your system later, you have to think on how to do your assignment. Okay. So assuming this is a very simple scenario where we are going to model the court only related to the court. Okay. So now, you were given after you do tick. Okay. I just need only one basic type only Assuming but of course for your assignment you may have many but for this question, I have one basic type. To student, I will not use other basic type. So I am going to use one basic type. Okay. So basic type. And then this is the axiomatic definition. This is global constant. Remember I told you last week about global constant, axiomatic definition. Okay, so this axiomatic definition is a variable. It's a variable of type n. Okay, but it is global. Means that everybody in your system can use this variable. Okay, to do their operation, whatever can use this. So it's global. So this one, I have a global variable called max student, where maximum data that I will have is 20. I just want to say that maximum for max student is 20. So everybody should know that if they use max student, maximum is 20. Okay, global variable. So now, this data I will use to show the limit. Just now the 20 student data to show the limit in the top area. Okay, this variable is to show the limit of students in the top area. Okay, so now, this question asks you to do state space. This is the one that I told you just now. State space schema. Yeah? State space schema. So, the name of the state space This is what we call as tennis club. For your assignment, it's module name lah. Okay lah, it's your module. But for this question, it is tennis club lah. For this question. Okay. So, how to show state space schema? Yeah. So the symbols that you are going to use for state space is this one. This symbol lah. So you go for this one. This symbol. Okay. For this symbol, remember schema name last week. You learned about schema name. There are rules for the schema name where if you have two words, each word starts capital letter, no space, no symbol, and so on. So that actually this is the rules already lah. So that's why you see just now tennis club already follow the rule. So the schema name here will be tennis club. Okay, I follow the question lah. Follow the question. Okay, now. Okay. When you go for the schema, yeah, you have two parts here. Yeah, you have two parts. The above part, the first part here, this is your variable declaration part. The declaration part. So just now we have employee wherever, where you are going to put in your schema is under this part. Okay, whatever variable declaration will be inside this part. Whatever, there are also other things that you are going to use. Okay, but for now, this part, for now, up to now, is your variable declaration. Okay? How about the second part? Okay. When you have your variable declaration, then if you look at the scenario here, there are conditions that you have to follow. Where if you are paying, you cannot pay, you cannot wait, and so on. There are rules that you have to follow. There are conditions that you have to follow, or constraints that you have to follow. So those constraints, those conditions that you have to tell will be inside the second part. Okay, whatever constraint, whatever condition that you are going to have in your system will be under this part. Okay, so under this part we call as predicate part. Or this one is a declaration or signature. Normally I'll just declaration like easier. This one is a constraint part, condition part. So we call this part as the predicate area. So when you see the last statement here, predicate part of your state space. So this is where you need to show the predicate part. Okay, so two parts in your schema, declaration and constraint. Okay, so now, so those are the two parts that you have to fill out. So if you refer to the question here, okay, these are the property of the system. The property here means these are your variables that you are going to use in your declaration part. So in this case, you see the italic, that one, members, court area, one court, and weight here. Okay, these are your variables that you are going to use for your variable declaration. Okay, so let me type first, members, court area. So where you put members. Okay, make sure that all change to small letters. Court area, on court, and weight. You have four variables. Yeah? Because I'm going to declare, that's why I put columns over here. Okay? Because that one is variable declaration. So now, okay, what are members here? Oops, what are members here? So you look back at the description here. The members here are actually set of all members of the club. Okay. So if you want to say about members of the club, who are they actually? If you want to say members of the club, what are the data that you want to save inside there? Is it basic type, integer, string, free type? Is it what? What data? The students here. Assuming the student is the member here, we save name only lah. Or student ID, doesn't matter. Student ID for example. Okay student ID or name lah senang. Name. Okay let's say I'm talking about member here. Actually the list for a member here are names. Okay names of the students So when I want to save names of the student, what type of data that I have to do here? Basic type, free type, or built-in type? Name, nama.
Free type.
Basic type, free type, or built-in type? String data, integer, or choice 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or how? Name. String, right? So how do we represent string in what type? Basic type. Basic type Remember string data will be represented as basic type. Okay So basic type So in the question are we given any basic type in the question here? Are we given anything about related to basic type or not? Student, right? Okay Student This is our basic type. So our member here is of type student. Given to us already student. Just use it. But now if I do like this, how many students I have here? One only, right? So if I want to make it many, use power set, right? So use power set. So now court area. Describe the set of all members who are in the court. So are these students also or someone else? Those who are in the court area. Are we going to have the same name of student here or how? Yes, right. Students are also students who are in the court area. So same thing. In the court area, you may have more than one power set of students also. You can use many times the word student and no problem. Okay? And then on court, those who are playing the game also students. Okay? And then wait, those who are actually waiting to play the game also students. We may have more than one student, so power set of students. Okay, power set of students. So from here, you may ask yourself, all students, what is the difference of all students? Same thing also. How to show the difference? Member, court area, on court, how to show the difference? Because they're all same as student. Power set of students, all same. How to show the difference? This is where your predicate part must work, must be showing your condition there. Okay? You declare same. How to show the difference? Your condition part. Okay, so now, how to show the difference? You look at the question. Okay. Okay. To ensure that, to use the tennis court, the student has to be a member of the club. Yeah? So, those who are in the court area want to play, right? Tennis in the court area must be a member of the club. So, in this case, you must show the relationship between court area and member. Okay. How to show the relationship between court area and member? Those who are in the court area must be a member of the tennis club. How to show the relationship? Those who are in the court area must be a member of the tennis club. Assuming that tennis club has 50 members, those who are in the court area, maximum 20 just now, must be a member of the tennis club. So, how to show that? What symbols you need to use to show the relationship here? What do you do? How? From here, which symbol do you use? Okay? Set. Set here. So you have learned what last week? So how to show that? We put court area subset of members. So here, even though you have power set, when it comes to the predicate part, you use variable. Okay, you use variable. In the predicate part, you use variable. So variable are actually members, court area on court area. So you use variable. So court area is a subset of members. Okay? So you have that. So we have done this one. To use a tennis court, student has to be a member of the club. So now, the next one. To ensure that everyone gets enough games, a limit of 20 students allowed to be in the court area at one time. So, the limit is this variable. Right, these are the variable for you. You have max students here. Yeah? So, one way is, because we are talking about court area, you want to say that those who are in the court area must be less or equals to max students. Max students are variable just now, right? Now, max students are. Yeah? So now, you see here, max student type is n. Type is n, court area, student. Same or different? Type here. Here is n. Here is student. Same? Different. Student is basic type. N is n integer. String and integer are two different types. Student is string. N is integer. Two types. Even though we are talking about students in the court area and total students maximum, but now in our set schema are two different types. One is n. One is student. Okay, we don't consider power set because many we don't look at that. But we are talking about type here. Two different types. One is student, one is n. So when you do this, it's wrong. Because here you are telling that student here less or equals to n. So here is student, here is n. Okay, type, type. I'm talking about type now. Here is basic type. Here is n. Number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so different. So in order for us, we can still use this statement, but in order for us to get comparison, when you want to compare, the type must be the same. Okay, when you want to do something like comparison, this is like comparing less than or equal comparison, the type must be the same. So now, my type is different. Court area is student, whereas max student is n. Two different types. So in order for me to make sure that I can have the same type, remember last week we learned about cardinality? Okay, where it shows the size of the record. So you can use that hashtag court area less or equals to max student. What it means actually, I am looking at the court area, records. How many records I have there? How many names I have? If I have 15 means 15 students lah. If I have 20 means 20 students. So total records that I have inside the court area there is actually telling me how many students. So the data that I will get from here is n. So n less or equals to n can be done in our Z. Same type. N and n. So same type. So you can do like this. Okay, to do comparison lah. When you do comparison, the result must be same type. Okay, so just adding by hashtag, automatically you will have different outcome already. Okay, yeah? So this is another one that you have to remember to use the cardinality lah. Okay, so we have done that. The next one, students who are in the court area are either playing or waiting. So it means that we are going to link these three things together. Those who are in the court area is either they are playing on court or they are waiting to play. So our variables that we are going to link will be court area, on court, and wait. Okay, ah? How to link this? How to show that those who are playing and waiting are actually those who are in the court area? How to show that using the symbols? Okay. How to show that? What symbols do you think is actually suitable to be used here? Union. So, union, correct? So, on court, union, wait, equals to court area. Okay, understand that? Okay, meaning that those who are on court and those who are waiting means that these are the people in the court area there. Yeah? So this is the condition that you have to show inside your key. Okay? And how about the last one here? Those who are waiting cannot be playing at the same time. How are you going to show this one? Those who are waiting cannot be playing at the same time. You cannot wait and you play at the same time. You cannot. You are waiting lah. You cannot play at the same time. How to show this?
Intersection.
Okay, intersection. How to put that?
On court, separate.
On court, intersect with wait
Empty set.
equals to empty set. Yes. Okay. So meaning that on court and wait, if intersect cannot have data at all. So meaning that if you are playing, you are not waiting. If you are waiting, you are not playing. Okay? So this is what it means by translating your requirement into mathematical notation. Okay? So this is formal methods. Means that whatever the statements that we are receiving all in English language. So you have to translate all of these into mathematical notation. Okay? So of course, for your assignment, we may not only have one type like this. Okay? We may have something like this. Okay? So it may be a little bit different to do like this. Just that for this question, for this tutorial 3, I want you to start thinking of translating or actually changing the English sentence, whatever requirements that you have now, into mathematical notation. Okay? So for this one, this is, okay, just remember the first part here, this is what we call as declaration part, your variable declaration, especially your variable declaration. The second part is the constraint or the term that we use here, or the part there we call as predicate part. Predicate part. So that is the predicate part. So normally this is from passive. I'm not so sure whether passive person or not. Okay, but you must show all conditions. The condition or constraint in the predicate part of your system. Okay, so you show this. Another thing that you have to remember when you do your state space schema, all the one that you have here will be variable name, not type. You see, I didn't put student inside here. Okay, unless you use quantifier. Remember, there exists and for all, the E, the balik, or the for all B, that one. Quantifiers. This one, this one. This symbol, this one is a little bit different. You can have variable function. Because if you remember the format and so on, so there is a format that you have to follow. But other than that, you cannot put basic type, free type, or built-in function. You cannot. Except if you use quantifiers. Okay, so quantifier, you will see later. But for now, just remember, okay, whatever that you do here is to show the relationship between your variable. Okay, when you do like this, when you do like that, it's assuming like this one. One table lah. Or I say one column lah. Okay, when you do this, it's similar to this. Means you have one table. Okay, so in this case, something like this lah. Let me copy this one. So what it means by this is actually for members, I will have like this. The table for member lah. So name doesn't matter lah what are the data here. So it's up to you lah. Okay. Okay. So member. So this is member. Okay. Same thing for the hot area. Okay. Maybe hot area I have to do again. Okay. And then maybe for the this is hot area. Okay. Then I have on hot. Let's say I have this. Okay. Let's say I have this. Another one is AB. Okay. On hot maybe AA playing with B. Okay, for example lah. And then I have also another one is weight. Okay. Maybe I have this. Wait there. On what? DT something like that. Okay. So these are the data when you do declaration. Means that you have different things. I just call table lah. I just call as table. So you will have different table like this. So later, okay, because this one is individual. Later, you are going to learn to do something like using Cartesian product to link this table together. Then you will reduce this segment. You will have reduce the segment there lah. Because now you link the table together. Okay? So until now, okay? Understand? So this is what you are going to proceed next week lah. We call as state space schema. Okay? Any question until here? Okay lah. So no question until our end our class for